The album dropped yesterday, on YouTube, Google Play, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iTunes, and Spotify. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty big deal for me. It's not like I haven't dropped an album before. Oh, it's also on BANDCAMP. It's not like I haven't dropped an album before. I've who is okay. Um, it's not like I haven't dropped an album before. I'm not gonna put it on Do Not Disturb because I'm waiting for a text from someone, and I want to feel loved by people. And sometimes when people take a few more minutes to respond than usual, I feel like maybe they don't want to talk to me anymore because I have anxiety. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Actually, it kind of is because it's also something I wanted to talk about. Because I think it's important. Um, yeah, so the album's out. It's not like I haven't released an album before, but I haven't released an album that I've worked this hard on. Of course, all of my albums, I've completely put my heart and soul into all the songs and stuff like that. But I just like in the technical aspect, I had to work a lot harder for this one. That's for sure because I composed drum tracks, bass tracks, lead guitar, and rhythm guitar, and lyrics, and trying to improve my vocals all at once. So it was definitely a lot to be taken care of. Um but I got it done and I released it, and I also haven't ever used DistroKid as my distributor. I just kind of release things on Bandcamp. I didn't even release Metal Mouth on Bandcamp even though I said I would. Like, I don't know. Things were really weird around that time in my life, and as they kind of always are, but it was very, very strange. Like, I don't think I've ever had a time even remotely similar to either semesters in grade 9. Like, semester 1 and semester 2 in grade 9 were total, um, they were horrible, to be honest. Um, just grade 9 was such a bad year in so many ways. And that's also something that I kind of low key am talking about. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I had brought up how like the whole transition from grade 8 to grade 9, that was crazy. I'm grade 10 now, so I'm still pretty I don't know exactly how to describe myself and the fact that I'm in grade 10. Like, I know high school now, and I know what it's like, and I've gotten used to it, and I know how to manage things better, so that's good. But yeah, the transition from grade 8 to grade 9 is super hard. And I wrote a song called The Garage Gathering about my class in grade 8 and the friend group I had in grade 8. And that song really helped me. If you've been on my channel for like a while now, for like, it would be like for over a year, you'd know that I made 3 versions of that song. And honestly, I listened to all the versions, and I just found myself sounding more and more broken as I sang each version. And I think what I really want to talk about, where I really want to go with sharing that, is personal growth and where I'm going to go from here with my music. Um, like, if you listen to The Garage Gathering version 3 versus Where I Belong, which is one of my more recent songs, it's like I in the third version of The Garage Gathering, I sing a lot about just kind of being like, you know what, screw the future. I can't do it, you know? It's a lot of hopelessness is definitely there. And a lot of really dark things that were happening at the time were manifested in those lyrics in version 3. And um, and honestly, making that whole saga really helped me, um, because it was my way of expressing a foreign feeling in something that was familiar to me. I think that's a huge thing with music. I express feelings that are foreign and uncomfortable, in something that is familiar to me, because I've always liked singing and stuff. I've always loved music. Music has always been like one of my favorite things about life in general. I've always felt like music just makes everything better. Um, and I guess I even describe familiar feelings in music, but not as much, I think. I think I sing a lot more about new things than I do about old things, although I do sing about old things. Some examples of that for my new album are Peace Out, Summer Skin, and Legend for Life. Um, I find those are some of the most sad songs on the album. Actually, Summer Skin is sad, but it's kind of like, I don't know. One day I'll talk about the meaning of that song. But right now I haven't quite gotten through it, so I'm not really ready to share that yet. Um, but I'll have a lot more knowledge to share once I've gotten through it. And that's what I want to talk about. Even you can probably even hear it in the way I talk now. There's a lot more. I don't know. I guess releasing this entire album has really taught me things, and I've really learned a lot about myself. I've been working on this since September 22nd, to be exact. Dear Steve was the first song I wrote specifically for Erased, and I was in Toronto that day, which is a city like a few around. No, it's pretty far. It's Toronto is in Ontario in Canada. I'm Canadian, in case you didn't know that yet. I talk about it so much that I'm pretty sure almost all of you would know. A lot of Canadians just talk about the fact that they're Canadian, and we just mention it at random times because I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I was in Toronto, and that has been a huge source of inspiration for me going to Toronto, because there's just so many new things there all the time. Like, I always see something that's like, huh, that's weird, or I see something like, huh, that's cool. Every single time, there's always something new. And uh, writing about that, I kind of wanted to relate it to myself, because I think it's a part of being a teenager feeling like you're completely stuck somewhere. And I would never shame a teenager like myself for feeling that way. I feel that way sometimes. It's just a part of life, right? But if you really think about it, it's very silly to think that there is nothing past what's right in front of you while you're so young. It's really silly to think that there's nothing past a breakup. It's really silly to think that there's nothing past, whatever is happening, especially when you're so young. When you're 15, you're like only halfway to 30. Okay, that when I put it like that, it sounds kind of scary, very scary. That was literally the worst. Wait, oh wow, good job at me. That was literally the worst example I could have used. Anyway, basically what I'm saying is, you kind of can't be looking at yourself that way. It's very hard. Trust me, I know, because I look at myself that way all the time, and I'm not saying I don't by saying this, by expressing this. I'm saying I recognize that it's really stupid. Everyone has their own reasons for having this mindset, and I'm not invalidating the reasons for that, because shit's rough sometimes, honestly. Things really suck sometimes, and it's very easy to develop a negative mindset, and you know what, things get in the way sometimes, and life throws a lot of things at you. So yeah, I'm not shaming anyone for having this mindset. I'm just saying it's not a good one. Regardless of whether I think your feelings are valid or not. It's not a good mindset to have. And almost every person I know who is my age has that mindset. A lot of kids, at least. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Yeah, and literally all of them have had this mindset at some point, or they have it sometimes. And, yeah, Dear Steve, writing that was kind of the line, and I think that I'll get better every time, and when I hear myself, I hear a different voice each time. That's kind of my song, recognizing that, you know what, I'm still growing, and I know that I'm going to see myself grow, and I know that I have seen myself grow a lot in the past few years. Like, I've even seen myself grow over a couple months, even over just making this album. It's like really given me a sense of belonging and a sense of purpose. And it's giving me a lot more drive to my life. I also have recently gotten a job, which has actually really improved my mental health. I mean, yeah, sometimes it stresses me out. Sometimes I don't want to go. Sometimes I have a really hard day at school, then I have to go straight to work afterwards, and I don't want to go. But overall, that's been very good for my mental health. Um, and um, and yeah, just I compare my music from a year ago to my music now, and I'm not only talking about in terms of quality, like recording quality and the effort that, well, I've always put 100% effort. I just was not as skilled back then. I'm not talking about skill or recording quality. I'm just talking about my how I see things, you know? Because I do write my own music, and I do write about things that I understand and things that I experience personally. And um, seeing that growth is absolutely mind blowing. And it gives me a lot more faith in myself than I would have had if I never pursued music. Um, Pursuing music has been probably one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Um, and a part of me feels bad for doing things for myself because I've struggled with having a mindset of like, no, you're not good enough. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve to feel good about yourself. You don't deserve to love yourself because you're horrible. And you know, I was thinking, if if you're constantly down talking yourself, you know, when someone's down talking you, you're gonna dislike them, right? You're probably gonna hate them if they do it every single day to you 24/7. They just won't leave you alone. And if you hate that person who's down talking you, what if you're down talking yourself? You're gonna hate yourself because you're down talking yourself, and you're gonna be like, damn, that person's mean. That person's me. And then you're gonna hate yourself. Like, no wonder you hate yourself when you're putting no faith in yourself. So you faking things doesn't work. I found that's something that people try to do a lot. They try faking their happiness as if it's gonna bring them real happiness. And they try faking a good mindset as if it's gonna bring them something. And the majority of the time, that doesn't work at all. It really doesn't. I know because I've tried. I've seen people try, and it never works. Um, I'm sure it's worked for someone, but I'm just saying for the majority of people, it's just not something that's very reliable. And that's the truth. So you need to find something else. It's hard, absolutely. I'm not saying it's difficult, and I'm not invalidating what might be holding someone back, but the truth is, there's a certain point where you just need to get over something, and a lot of time that's fear. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. I'm not saying that this is easy. Literally, none of this is easy. It takes years, and I still haven't mastered it myself. I'm not trying to speak from a perspective of someone who's completely mastered everything. I'm 15. That's not possible. It's not possible for me to know everything about growth and stuff like that. I'm just sharing what I currently have, and I like sharing that through music and through just making YouTube videos because I like seeing how I grow, and I want to share my thoughts with people. I often feel bad for doing that. I feel like they don't want to listen to me. I feel like they're bored, or I'm just boring them, or just I'm being too lippy or whatever. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's difficult. It's a very difficult thing to do. However, um, people a lot of the time complain about their life, and they're not actually actively doing anything to try and improve it. You can't change external forces, and whatever your external forces may be, if you have any, it's going to be harder for you, and that really sucks. Um, or even internal forces too. Um, it's not really, yeah, it's just it's a stupid thing. It's a stupid thing that happens. I'm not saying it's stupid that you're going. I'm not saying you're stupid for going through. I'm saying that it's stupid that people have so many things thrown at them when they don't deserve it at all. Um, yeah. Eventually, you're gonna have to tailor it to yourself. You're gonna have to try a lot of things, but if you truly want it to stop, um, then you need to try something new if what you've been doing has not been working. And that's the thing again about people trying to fake it till you make it or whatever. Um, yeah, that doesn't work for most people, but they keep trying to do it. Um, and of course, finding the motivation to do that is also a whole other battle. The thing is, there's so many obstacles in front of obstacles in front of obstacles that it seems impossible to get there. Um, but one tip I do have for people, I'm not saying it's gonna work for everyone, but I'm saying if you're stuck in something and this is something you haven't tried, then maybe you want to try it because it's worked for a lot of people and it's personally worked for me. You want to be able to keep track of yourself. Keeping track of yourself is huge because then you can see how you grew. If you never see or recognize how you've grown, then you're not going to feel like you're getting anywhere and you're going to feel stuck, and that's only going to immobilize you more and it's going to make you go slower. Because emotions are a powerful thing. As dumb as emotions are, they really suck. As much as emotions immobilize us, and as stupid as they are, they're still there and they affect us more than a lot of the time we'll admit. And that's a lot more of the time than I worded that badly. And that's something I have issues with, admitting that I have feelings. Not in music. I'm fine with doing that in music, but in general. When I'm actually talking to people and not my webcam. Yeah. I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah. So I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh gosh, that's okay. Because that's really embarrassing for me. I'm gonna post this anyway, so that oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say keep track of your growth, because if you never see how you've grown, then you're gonna feel bad about yourself all the time. You're not gonna feel like you got anywhere from where you were a year ago. But the reality is, you probably have. You just haven't been keeping track of it. So yeah. So like keep a journal or something. If you want to do music, do music. If you want to do art, do art. If you want to write plays or whatever, write plays. Write all the plays. And again, finding motivation to do that is completely different. I have depression. I'm not joking about that. I'm not being one of those edgy teens or whatever to diagnose themselves through the internet. I actually do. I'm diagnosed by professionals with depression. So I, of all people, will definitely know how hard it is to find motivation. Sometimes I can't get out of bed, which is something I really don't like admitting because I feel really silly about it. Because I'm like, oh my god, I'm so stupid because I let my emotions get in the way. Or my lack of emotions. Yeah, I'm usually late for school. And it's because I did not sleep at all the night before, or I just can't get up, or I'm saying it's because I need sleep when really I don't need sleep and I'm just finding it really difficult to get up, and I don't want to admit to my parents that I am in a huge rut of depression at the moment. Um, yeah, yeah, so motivation's hard, but you know what? You gotta try, and it's not always gonna work. Maybe it'll not work more than it does work. Um, but you know what? You know what counts the most? The times that it does work, and you gotta make it count. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. This has been so long. Is anyone watching? Leave a comment saying that you got this far. I appreciate you so much. You're as pure as the people who sort by new on Reddit. Um, So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of the amazing feedback I've gotten on my album. Holy crap. I spent so long rambling about mental health and growth and stuff like that that I completely forgot. Okay, I didn't completely forget, but like I just spent all my time rambling about that. Thank you so much. I was not expecting to get so much positive feedback and for people to just be so kind as to listen to some loser kids music on YouTube. I really appreciate that a lot. And so many people shared it with people. And I would really appreciate it if you continue to share it with whomst. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. um oh god, this has been so long. I really don't want to post this, but I'm going to because it's what I made and it's raw and it's real and there is a lot of stuff in this. It's like this video is a hot pocket and many bases were covered. So yeah, and where am I gonna go with my music? I'm gonna keep making it. Am I gonna stop making? Of course not. Of course I'm not gonna stop making music. I will die if I do that, and it may actually might be literally so. And music is a healthy coping mechanism, so we're gonna keep doing music. It's gonna get better every single album, and it's gonna be really good, and I'm gonna be good, and I am good. I'm patting myself on the head, mentally and emotionally. So yeah, thank you. Okay.